What's the deal? It's your boy J Mike, Mr. Athletic over everything. Today I have a video coming for you guys to help some of you guys who are starting your clothing companies off. I learned over this last 2 years I've actually been in business that there are some small details that you can do to your clothing brand that would add value and give you more credibility that don't really cost that much. In most cases, you worry about the equipment that you're using, you're worrying about your marketing and all that other stuff. But there are a few things that you can do that aren't really expensive that can take your brand to the next level. Now today I have a couple examples here of what I'm actually talking about. When I first started out, show you guys a design that I did a few years back, well 2 years ago, right? This was my shirt. It was fly kicks and deadlifts. This was on a Gildan shirt, which is $2-3 shirt. I thought the shirt was nice. I had like flock material with reflective vinyl on here. I actually sold quite a few of these shirts, but when you start looking at your brand versus others out in the marketplace, you start seeing small details that actually separate the better run companies versus the t-shirt companies, or people who are selling shirts. Selling shirts versus having a clothing brand are totally different. You can view this and go through this in many different ways, but over the last 2 years, my designs have evolved. My shirts, the quality of shirts that I chose to use, that will be another video, and how to choose which shirts to actually use. Give you a representation of today. Now this right here is a new line that I'm actually coming out with. It hasn't released yet, but they're on better quality shirts, less layering and things of that nature, and more presentable to the marketplace. But when I first started, I wanted to do things and create shirts that had a bigger vibe to them. You know what I'm saying? And this is like one of my better selling shirts. But if you notice, I have my logo here, rubberized brick material. I have a shirt label now. And when you first get into this stuff, you don't realize that that is a very small aspect of what you're doing. It doesn't cost a lot of money to create shirt labels or to put rubberized looking logos on your garments. And to be honest with you, for years, you see other companies. See if we can get that. See if well, this right here is actually one of the rubberized logos that I've used for my AOE brand. And it's used with flock material, or not flock, it's used with brick material. And the thing is that I had brick that was sourced by a local company here in Houston. I thought that that's what good brick was. It actually was hard. It actually was very abrasive. And when I first started making them, I was cutting them on my Cameo silhouette, and it had to be a little bit bigger for me to get the design as clean as I needed so I can weed it. And one of the things about buying a professional cutter like the Graph Tech, I was able to use that brick, make it smaller, and the brick that is used by Caesar actually has a rubbery feel to it. It doesn't feel like a brick, or it feels very abrasive. And once I started doing that, I started making my own custom labels. Now what's different is that they make 8 different colors of Caesar brick or something like that, and I bought them in all different colors, and I actually cut them. So now if I have a shirt, and let's say for instance this one right here, this is gold, I chose to put white here. I actually have AOE design in gold, but to give it some contrast, I use white. But this just gives you more variety when you're creating your designs. And this has been one of the bigger things that have pushed me ahead recently. That gave me more of a finish or a more polished look, having that rubberized feel to your logo. And the next one is the actual going from having, a regular tag to creating my own custom shirt tags. You know what I'm saying? And what I did with this is that I wasn't really good at vectoring and things of that nature, so sending them out to another company to have them printed or gang sheeted or something like that really wasn't an option for me. So I just started messing around with different types of vinyl that had a better feel to them. So like when you use the more expensive vinyls or the stretch, it kind of gives it a screen print feel to it. But once again, using the Cameo doesn't cut as great fine detailed letters when they're smaller. When you get a professional cutter like the GraphTech can cut amazing quality, even super small, as long as you pick the correct font. So you guys out there that you want to create your own labels, just make sure you use a clean font that doesn't have too much going on, and the weeding process will be much, much better. And when I tell you, I started creating my own labels, and once I started doing that, it gave the shirts a more professional look, and my sales actually got a lot better because people saw that it didn't look like somebody who was printing shirts in their garage. You know what I'm saying? It gave it a much more professional look. And this is actually one of the bigger ones. I've actually made this about a third smaller than this because now I have the design, the letters, what goes into the actual tag more stabilized. So when I run it through the GraphTech, it cuts it clean. I'm able to weed it much easier. And to be honest with you, you don't have to do this much. You can put your company, so I have AOE 2XL. That technically is good enough if you're not in stores and things of that nature. But I went ahead and went a step further since I am using vinyl. I say wash cold, dry low, made in the USA. So with that being the case, I think it gives the buyer a little more assurance and also directions on how to wash the garments for them to last a lot longer. This was a very, very important step. Alright, so we've talked about the rubberized logos. Next up, something that's not as expensive as you may think it is. Shirt tags and labels, right? Now what I did was I had two different, see if it catches on. Oh, it's not. Wait, hold on. Actually, I can. Come on, zoom in. Alright, so it's not cooperating, but pretty much I have my AOE tag. This is the standard tag that goes on all the shirts. I actually put a picture on the back of me wearing the shirt, and I have information, contact, phone number information, website, and my IG profile on there. And this is another little circle tag. This one has bench legend mindset. It's something that I go by. I'm one of the best benchers in the world. And I sell a lot of shirts based on the fact that I'm a big bencher. And then on the back, I have that AOE logo, but now it's actually changed. It's actually a thicker border around the AOE itself, so I actually have to get these done over. But and the other good thing about this is that I bought both of these from Vistaprint, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I was able to get 1,000 of these and 2,000 cards for under $200. Now, if I had to do this over, I would change it up a little bit. You can actually manipulate this a lot more, but this is an awesome touch on your shirts. So when you're selling your shirts, you have your label, your tag on there with your shirt. It just gives it a cleaner, more professional look, and that helped me out a lot when I did not want to sell shirts for $10 or $12. My shirts are between $20 and $35, so these aren't cheap. And basically, like I said in the video prior, is that I designed a company basically around myself as an athlete. If I have a big bench day and training, people buy my shirts. If I'm active and winning competitions, people buy my shirts. So that helped me out a lot, and it doesn't take that much. And the other good thing about buying the stuff from Vistaprint is that you can order it, and let's say you get it, and when you get it, you're not happy with it, you can send it back or call them and ask them for a refund. They'll refund your money and let you keep the product. Like if you just say, hey, the print quality doesn't look like, I'm not telling people to fraud these people, but if you're just like, say for instance, it doesn't look as dark as it's supposed to, they'll give you a refund. And I know it's not picking up, but for some reason, the back of, let's see. So the bottom of this particular circle, I don't know if you can see it, is actually flat. And for whatever reason, when they did the print, it didn't pick up the circle correctly. So I actually got this whole entire order for free. But that is something to think about when you're purchasing this. If something goes wrong, they'll actually make it right, and that's something that you can't put a price tag on. Also, you can also have these hanging from like string. They also make these with yarn. I don't know if you can actually see it. It has like a little bell. It makes a circle. You connect them, and it actually hangs on the shirts. And you can also use pins. You know, so I don't know if it's picking up, but I also went this route so I can actually just give it more texture. So when people actually open up their package from you, it gives them something a little bit more. It gives them more of a connection to the product, and it justifies the price tag in which that I'm asking for. So I just started taking those extra little steps, and it has helped me with sales increasing across the board. So I think that these little tips right here could help out any of you guys who are starting off getting into the into this shirt business. You know, and I'm about to